Oftentimes we're trying to figure each other out. Us women plus the men that we love, they really haven't figured us out. But one woman maybe has a leading edge on us. Dr. Kristina Durante is joining us this morning from UTSA. It's good to see you.
Hi, nice to see you too.
So you did some research on women and found out that when our estrogen levels are higher, we act one way towards our friends and guys. Really?
Right,
is it that easy to figure us out?
Right. No, women are very complicated, and that's why most of the research on hormones and behavior has been done on men and not women. I look at ovulation. This is the time each month that women can become pregnant. Now, our cycles, our ovulatory cycles, span about 28 to 30 days, but we can only become pregnant on those few days that surround ovulation mid-cycle, like day 14 of a 28-day cycle.
And do we change our attitude around that time?
We do, because estrogen increases at this point in time, and estrogen can have an important impact on women's behaviors and motivations and their preferences. So my research finds that women are interested in different kinds of men.
Really?
When they're near ovulation. And these are and they're more interested in competing with other women. So I have an increased motivation to compete with other women for male attention. So this ovulation is the only time that women can reproduce, unlike men. So it follows that women's behaviors should shift towards motivation to attract a good man and compete with other women for male attention. And that's what we see in a number of different behaviors that we look at.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So here's a woman who may be attracted to, you know, a regular working kind of guy most of the time, but for that one part of the month, we may be attracted to the guy riding the motorcycle with the long hair, you know.
Right, the prototypical bad boy. So these are guys who, they're masculine, they're charismatic, they're socially dominant, they're attractive, more attractive. They're kind of like, I always say, John Mayer or maybe a George Clooney type. And we see women have an increased sexual desire for these men. And what my research shows also is that women deceive themselves about these guys when estrogen is high. So they come to see these men as better than they really are. Different people, better partners, better future fathers for themselves. So we see women thinking, well, you know, I'm so attracted to this guy. He doesn't have a great track record. Certainly we know John Mayer doesn't. But for me, he may change. And we hear about this all the time. We see our friends do it. We even do it ourselves, but we see more clearly when our friends are, you know, going after the bad guy, that we just think, well, you're crazy. But we see that women have this bias when they're evaluating these guys at ovulation.
So we have to take this information that you've given us and be forewarned. Don't sway, don't change just because it's that time. You got to stay the straight and narrow path and stick with the things that you're used to.
Right, exactly. I mean, this is, it's so interesting to look at women's behavior and how hormones influence, because this is science is the business of knowledge and discovering things. And most of the research, like I said, has been done on men and not women. But it's this window that we can look at and see, you know, sort of the psychological mechanism behind women's behaviors, like why they want so many handbags and high heel shoes, and is it to impress men? Well, we find that it's not. It's to directly signal to other women. So women dress for other women and not men so much.
These darn hormones, I tell you, they really mess things up for me.
Right. So when it comes to courtship and competition, this is the motivation when estrogen levels are high and we see behavior shifting in these ways.
Well, thank you for warning us. We certainly appreciate it. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for stopping by San Antonio Living.